So let's take our final step to run Python script. For this, you need to install a text editor called VS Code. So just go and search for VS Code, and you need to find out this link. So click on that, and from here, download the latest version of Visual Studio Code. So it will download the Visual Studio Code for you. Now, after downloading Visual Studio Code, you need to install it. While installing VS Code, just keep the default setting and press next, next, next unless you install VS Code. Once you have installed VS Code, you need to run VS Code. I have already installed VS Code, so I will not install it again. I will just run the Visual Studio Code. So just say Visual Studio Code and run this. So that's how it should look when you run the VS Code into your operating system. Now just close this welcome tab. So now there are some parts in this VS Code that we need to talk about. So this part is called console. This is where we will see our output. So it's also called the command prompt of VS Code, because here we can also write command, So this is the part where we will see our output, as well as we can also write some Python in REPL. For example, let me show it to you. In order to enter to REPL, again for Windows Python, for Mac Python 3, and that's how you can just enter to Python REPL in VS Code. Okay, so it's integrated command prompt or so to exit, just say exit, and it should exit it. So clear the screen, just say CLS for Windows, and for Mac OS it should be Command L. Now here is the tab that's called extension. So just click on this. Now this is the place where we can add extensions to our VS Code text editor. Extension will increase the functionality of VS Code. So we need to install extension called Python. So which is just a Python. So this is important to install Python extension to run Python code in VS Code. So just install this Python extension. It has more than above millions of downloads, so very popular. Click on install. It will take some seconds to install Python extension. All right. So it should install quick. Yep, it has been installed. All right. Now one more extension that you can install, by the way, it's optional, is a theme that I will be using throughout this course. It's called Cobalt. It's called Cobalt theme, this one, and it's called Cobalt 3, I think so. Yeah, Cobalt 3. So make sure you install Cobalt 3 theme as well if you want the same look as my Visual Studio text editor, because it will change basically this VS Code like this. All right, so I will be using this theme throughout this course, so just to tell you if you are curious. So now just click on open folder over here. We need to create a folder into our desktop or wherever you want. So I would create a new folder. I would name it Python. All right, and select this folder. Now let's create our first Python file. So I will say new file, and let's call it first first.py. So the Python file always has extension py. So just create a new file like that, and now here we can write our Python code, and then we can compile the Python code over here. So let's write our Python code over here. So print hello world. So now you need to save this Python file. It's very important to save this before executing it. To save it, you can use Control S in Windows, and in macOS it can be probably Command S. And also you can click on File and click on Save. Make sure you click on Save, not Save As. Okay, Control S. So it will save it. Now first I need to clear the screen, CLS. Now I would enter Python, and if you are using Mac, I repeat this over and over again just to make sure that you do the same thing. If you are in Mac, you need to enter Python 3, all right? But if you are in Windows, you just need to say Python and then name of the file. So first.py. And now as you can see, we have successfully executed our file, first.py, all right? So the benefit of using this built-in ID text editor, not text editor actually, it's a command prompt kind of, or command shell. So the using this has a benefit, and the benefit is over here that we don't need to set the path. As you can see, this path is the file path that I have created, and now when I run it, it's compiled by IDE that we have installed. So this Python extension just connect this Python extension that we have installed, just connect this Visual Studio Code with that IDE that we have installed previously, and the compilation is actually done by that IDE. All right, so that's how basically we can do it. By the way, this is also called a terminal, and it's also called command shell, command prompt. It's up to you, whatever you call it. What really is important, you have run your first Python file. Congratulations. So from the next video, we will start learning programming fundamental concepts in Python. I can't wait, and see you in the next video.